The internet just exploded and Hailey Bieber is at the center of a storm that has everyone picking sides. If you love celebrity drama that keeps you refreshing your timeline every 5 minutes, you absolutely need to hear what just went down because this situation is unfolding in real time and it's getting messier by the second. And before we dive deep into this chaos, make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're about to spill some serious tea. So here's what happened that has the entire internet in a chokehold right now. Hailey Bieber allegedly reposted a video on her social media that talked about her relationship with Justin Bieber, and let me tell you, this wasn't just any casual commentary. The video essentially claimed that their relationship works because Hailey tolerates certain behaviors and situations that many people wouldn't accept in their own relationships. The creator of the video argued that many long-term relationships that society celebrates only function because one partner, often the woman, becomes tolerant of issues that shouldn't be normalized. The video specifically called out Hailey as someone who stays in the relationship no matter what, suggesting that Justin struggles with personal challenges that affect their partnership. Now, you might be wondering why this is such a huge deal. Well, imagine being a celebrity couple that's constantly under the microscope, dealing with endless speculation about your private life, and then allegedly sharing content that seems to validate all the rumors and concerns people have been whispering about for years. The video went into detail about addiction and how someone dealing with those struggles cannot be an equal partner in a relationship. It painted a picture of an imbalanced dynamic where one person carries significantly more emotional weight than the other. This wasn't light commentary or gossip. This was a direct assessment of their marriage presented as fact. But here's where things get absolutely wild. After the internet went into overdrive discussing this alleged repost, Hailey came out swinging with a response that basically said everyone needs to calm down and find something better to do with their time. She posted a message saying that people who live on the internet are bored and that she never reposted any videos discussing her relationship. She ended it by wishing everyone a beautiful Sunday, which honestly sounds pretty dismissive considering how many people claimed they saw the repost with their own eyes. It was giving major damage control energy, like she was trying to shut down the conversation before it could spiral even further out of control. Now, this is where the situation transforms from regular celebrity drama into something that feels like we're living in an alternate reality. After Hailey denied reposting the video, people started coming forward with screenshots and screen recordings claiming they could still see the repost on her page. Some users said it was right there in her reposts, sitting between other content she had shared. Others went to check and found absolutely nothing. It became this bizarre situation where half the internet was seeing one thing and the other half was seeing something completely different. How does that even happen in 2026 when we have the technology to verify basically everything? Content creators started documenting their attempts to verify whether the repost was actually there. People were going step by step through Hailey's profile, refreshing pages, scrolling through reposts, and recording everything to prove they weren't making things up. Some accounts showed the controversial video sitting right there in her reposts. Other accounts showed her last repost being something completely innocuous from Kylie Jenner, with no trace of the relationship commentary video anywhere. It was like two different versions of reality were existing simultaneously, which obviously made everyone even more suspicious and confused about what actually happened. The skepticism intensified because this isn't just about whether someone shared a video or not. This is about a celebrity couple that has been the subject of intense scrutiny since day one. People have been analyzing their relationship dynamics, reading into social media posts, and creating narratives about their marriage since before they even got married. There's a significant portion of the internet that believes Hailey settled into a difficult situation because of her feelings for Justin and his celebrity status. There's another portion that thinks people are projecting their own relationship issues onto a couple they don't actually know. And now with this alleged repost situation, both sides feel validated in their perspectives. What makes this even more complicated is the technology aspect. How can something appear on some people's devices but not others? Some folks suggested it could be a caching issue, where the content was removed but still showed up for users who had recently viewed her profile. Others wondered if certain accounts were somehow seeing outdated versions of her page. Then there were the conspiracy theorists who thought maybe she had actually shared it, panicked when it started gaining attention, deleted it quickly, but not before it had already propagated across different servers, or something equally technical that most of us don't fully understand. The explanations ranged from reasonable to absolutely unhinged. The situation also highlights something fascinating about celebrity culture in our current moment. We have more access to famous people than ever before. We can see what they're sharing, what they're liking, what they're reposting, sometimes even what they're viewing. This creates an intimacy that feels real, but is actually completely manufactured. We think we know these people because we see slices of their daily lives, but we're really just seeing whatever they choose to show us, or whatever gets captured by someone else. When something like this alleged repost happens, it feels like we're getting a rare glimpse behind the curtain, a moment where the carefully constructed image slips and we see something real and unfiltered. But do we actually know what happened here? Not really. We have people claiming they saw the repost. We have Hailey saying she never shared it. We have screen recordings that show different things. We have a situation where verification seems impossible because the evidence keeps contradicting itself. Maybe she did share it in a moment of frustration or vulnerability and then immediately regretted it and took it down. Maybe someone fabricated the whole thing knowing it would create exactly this kind of chaos. Maybe there's a technical glitch that caused content to appear incorrectly on certain accounts. Maybe we'll never actually know the truth, and this will just become another piece of celebrity lore that people debate forever. What's particularly interesting is how different people are reacting to this based on their existing feelings about Hailey and Justin. People who already had concerns about their relationship see this as confirmation of everything they suspected. People who support them see this as another example of the internet being cruel and invasive toward a couple just trying to live their lives. People who don't care about celebrity gossip at all are wondering why any of this matters when there are actual important things happening in the world. Everyone is looking at the same situation and coming away with completely different interpretations based on their pre-existing biases. The timing of this situation is also worth considering. Celebrity marriages are under more scrutiny than ever, and there's growing conversation about relationship dynamics and what healthy partnerships actually look like. People are less willing to celebrate relationships just because they've lasted a long time if those relationships seem to involve significant compromise from one partner. There's increasing awareness about concepts like emotional labor and codependency, and how those things can keep people in situations that aren't actually good for them. So when a video making these kinds of claims about a high-profile couple allegedly gets shared by one of the people in that couple, it touches on all these larger cultural conversations happening right now. Some people think that if Hailey actually did share this video, it would have been a powerful moment of honesty. Celebrities rarely acknowledge the real challenges in their relationships publicly. Everything is always fine. Everything is always perfect. Every couple is #relationship goals. But we know that's not reality. We know that everyone, including famous people, deals with difficult relationship dynamics and personal struggles. If she had owned up to sharing it and opened up about the challenges they face, it could have been a moment that made her more relatable and human. Instead, the denial and confusion just made everything feel more calculated and fake. Others argue that celebrities have every right to keep their personal lives private and that Hailey doesn't owe anyone an explanation about her marriage. Just because someone is famous doesn't mean they have to share every difficult moment with millions of strangers on the internet. Maybe she didn't share the video at all, and this is all just people trying to create drama where none exists. Maybe she did share it but realized it was a mistake to air private matters publicly and decided to remove it and move on. Either way, the argument goes, she's entitled to handle her personal life however she sees fit without owing the internet a detailed breakdown of what's really happening in her marriage. Then there's the whole question of what this means for how we consume celebrity content going forward. If something can be there 1 minute and gone the next, if half of us can see something and half of us can't, if we can't even agree on basic facts about what was or wasn't posted, how are we supposed to know what's real anymore? This situation is a perfect example of how technology has made it simultaneously easier and harder to verify truth. We have more tools than ever to document and share information, but we also have more ways for that information to be manipulated, misinterpreted, or lost in technical glitches. The conversation around Justin's personal struggles adds another layer to this whole mess. The video that allegedly got reposted talked specifically about addiction and how that impacts relationships. This isn't new information. Justin has been open about his struggles in the past. He's talked about going through difficult periods and working on himself. But there's a difference between someone sharing their own story on their own terms and having their partner allegedly validate outside commentary about how those struggles affect their marriage. It crosses a line from personal disclosure to public confirmation of private dynamics. What's also fascinating is how this story keeps evolving. First, it was about whether she shared the video. Then it was about whether she lied about sharing it. Then it became about why some people can see it and others can't. Then it turned into a broader conversation about celebrity relationships and social media verification and truth in the digital age. A simple repost, or alleged repost, has spawned all these different threads of discussion that go way beyond just one couple and one video. It's become a lens through which people are examining bigger questions about fame and privacy and relationships and technology. Some creators who investigated this situation found themselves being called liars when their documentation didn't match what other people were seeing. They had to record themselves going through every step of checking Hailey's profile just to prove they weren't making things up or editing footage. They had to show their screens in real time, refresh pages, navigate through menus, all to demonstrate that from their view, the controversial repost simply wasn't there. But even with all that evidence, people still didn't believe them because other people had different evidence showing something else entirely. It's created this impossible situation where everyone has proof of their version of events, but nobody can agree on what actually happened. The response from Hailey telling people they're bored and need to get off the internet struck a lot of people as tone deaf. Yes, maybe people do spend too much time online analyzing celebrity lives. But when you're a public figure who makes money from that attention and uses social media to build your brand, you can't really turn around and shame people for paying attention to what you post. It comes across as wanting all the benefits of fame and social media presence without any of the scrutiny or accountability that comes with it. You can't have it both ways where people should care about your content but not care too much or look too closely. At the end of the day, whether Hailey shared that video or not, this situation reveals something about our relationship with celebrity culture. We're obsessed with finding cracks in the facade, moments where the perfect image slips and we see something real. We create entire narratives around people we don't actually know based on tiny pieces of information we gather from social media. We argue with strangers about the private lives of famous people as if we have any actual insight into what's really happening. And when something ambiguous like this happens, we all become detectives trying to solve a mystery that maybe doesn't even exist. The truth is we'll probably never know for certain what happened here. Maybe Hailey will address it more directly in the future. Maybe more evidence will emerge that settles the question once and for all. Maybe this will just fade away as the internet moves on to the next scandal, and we'll never get a definitive answer. But the conversations this situation sparked about relationships and honesty and celebrity culture and technology will probably continue long after people stop talking about this specific incident. It's tapped into something bigger than just one alleged repost. What remains clear is that navigating life as a celebrity in 2026 is incredibly complicated. Every move is watched, every post is analyzed, every decision is judged by millions of people. The line between public and private has become so blurred that even trying to set boundaries gets criticized. And when something like this happens where the facts themselves are disputed and different people are literally seeing different realities, it becomes almost impossible to control the narrative or set the record straight. Maybe that's the real story here, not whether Hailey shared a video about her marriage, but how difficult it's become to establish truth in an age where everything is documented, but nothing is certain. This whole situation is a reminder that celebrity gossip isn't just mindless entertainment. It's actually a reflection of larger cultural dynamics and technological challenges we're all navigating. The questions this raises about truth and verification and privacy and public life are relevant whether you care about Hailey and Justin specifically or not. We're all living in a world where what we see online might not match what someone else sees, where things can disappear as quickly as they appear, where our digital footprints follow us forever, but can also be denied or erased. This drama is really just a microcosm of the strange reality we've all created together. If you made it this far, you clearly love diving deep into celebrity situations that make us question everything. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss when the next piece of unbelievable drama drops, because in this digital age, you know there's always something wild just around the corner.